My first winner. Jets. The Giants. Defensive lines.
Yes.
New York. Football
New
town. I
New
mean,
Jersey.
New Jersey. Something's in the water. These are also kind of like similar teams in that I don't think anyone really trusts the quarterbacks. Both very good run games. And then the defenses are a little bit different. I'll get to that in a second. But like, punching above their weight certainly for the New
Yeah.
York, I think the Jets have more talent and they're playing up to that talent finally, right? Because you bring in Robert Saleh. Defense has been really underwhelming. Granted, injuries, haven't had a lot of talent on that side of the ball. But, when you bring in guys like, Sauce Gardner, Jermaine Johnson, who they drafted this year, Carl Lawson comes back, and then you have these high picks up front and like, Quinnen Williams, it's got to all come together. And it finally feels like it's coming together for them on defense. I mean, I'll just start there. But, we spent so much time talking about the Packers on our shows.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets defense took over, the D-line took over that game. That is why they won the game. Simple.
Quinnen Williams is so adorable and destructive at the same time. It's just incredible. Rankin was running through guards like they weren't even there. It's like it's like you can't even evaluate the Packers because they couldn't like meet the baseline to actually see what they could do.
They looked like they had never seen a stunt in their life. It was amazing.
And Aaron Rodgers is asking for the offense to be simplified. It's like, yes, it should be simplified. Don't let the guys run through the line without slowing them down a little bit. Like, we don't even know if the game plan could work because they can't stand up long enough to give him time to make something happen. But yeah, on the positive note, like Sauce, I love Sauce. Oh. He's so good, so good, and has the confidence to go with. I mean, it's a prerequisite to play corner. You have to start with an unhealthy love of oneself, and then you have to match that with outstanding athleticism and intelligence, and he seems to have it all.
I mean, the guy wore a cheesehead thing in Green Bay at Lambeau. Like, if that's not Sauce, then what is? But on that note, I did like a little advertisement. Our friend Andrew Hawkins has this new virtual reality game called Status. Mm-hmm. This is, I'm not being paid to mention it in this podcast. It's very fun though. It's like use the virtual VR headset, and as part of the script they gave me, I had to like audition and I had to say, I've got all the sauce. And boy, those words have never been less natural coming out of a human's mouth. I've got all the sauce. Oh, it was so bad. Even just saying it now is triggering.
It reminds me when you did those Mariners takes.
Oh my God.
You remember that?
It's
was so
rally
great.
time. Oh man.
Oh goodness.
Sauce is okay. What's the young person word that you feel the least comfortable saying?
I don't know all of them, so I think I don't know the young people words to say. But I never bought in on lit. Like it was never something that I was saying. Like it just felt like it wasn't for me. And by the time like there's a period where like young cool people say it that we don't know about.
Yeah, we miss it. Yeah, we're always really late to it.
Yeah, there's a short period where we could also say it before old white men start saying it. Once they start saying it, it's dead. It's too late. You know? So like I missed it for lit. I clearly missed it for the gritty, which is obviously dead right now.
Yeah.
It's been murdered.
Been dead for a while, yeah.
Yeah. And so I don't know let me think.
Every time Gesicki does it, it's honestly someone has to call the NAACP and just put a stop to it. It's not okay. It's not okay.
Oh gosh.
There's this, I mean, even saying things are fire, I'm like, ooh, part of me like dies inside every time I say it.
Because to use fire, you have to say fire.
Ooh.
Like you can't say that's fire because it doesn't sound right. It's like it has to be fire. Like, oh, that play was fire. And it just doesn't feel right.
Vibe, I feel like I'm
Oh yeah.
It's a vibe.
You're good with vibe. Yeah, vibe, I think. Yeah, vibe is universal. I think you can be like, yeah, it's a vibe.
All right. There's a guy, Owen, who's works for Omaha's listening. He's extremely young. Text me the words the kids are saying now, and at the end, I'm going to try to say them.
Hold on. Who is this?
Owen at
okay,
Omaha.
I'm good.
He does the social for us. Okay.
Yeah. He does social. I was
Yeah.
about to say I don't want no slang from a dude named Owen, but if he's in charge of social, you're good with me, Owen.
Just text it to me. All right. The other thing though, I do want to hit the Giants too, because less so. I think, I don't think they're as good as the Jets defense, quite frankly. But this last week against Baltimore, Baltimore could easily be a woof. I was really impressed by the defensive line as well. So I kind of lumped them into one category. Leonard Williams is finally back and looks as disruptive as ever. But the real winner is Dexter Lawrence. It's funny, Quinnen Williams and Dexter Lawrence, I think two guys, defensive tackles, some people thought, should they be taken as high as they are? Especially Lawrence, I would say more than Williams, thinking, how long is he going to be in the field? Turns out he's on the field the whole freaking game. And he's a game breaker. I think he is definitely on the 5th-year option right now. When we talk about the Giants and Saquon and Daniel Jones, he is priority number 1, in my opinion, for a guy to keep because, and then, and then Thibodeau finally not finally, but also had obviously a forced fumble. And so it feels like, okay, finally we're starting to see a young core on defense, which is huge for them.
I like this show because this show is not like many other shows that I'm on where we have to turn up the Giants talk to a degree where you have to be like, so are they going in a Super Bowl? And if you say no, it's like, you hate the Giants. It's like, no, we can be honest about this, have a conversation and celebrate the good things that they've done so far and also acknowledge that some of what's happening is a result of some happenstance. This is not because they are a dominant team, but I think it's fine to celebrate the things that they are really good at. In the D-line, their front is really good right now. If you want to extend this to outside the city of New York or New Jersey and do the entire state, the D-line in Buffalo should be commended also because
we knew
they had a big game. Right, yeah. But it seems like those things are consistent for the entire state. Is they've all decided that the D-line is important to winning, and it's translating to big wins, especially last week.